Gui-hun was one of the most chaotic players in Squid Game, desperate, broke, and just barely holding it together. And in this video, we're going over every moment Gui-hun totally lost his mind. Starting with the moment where it all got real for him. When Gui-hun first stepped into the red light, green light game, he was still not aware of how cruel and deadly the games were. Still under the impression it was all just a game, but as soon as the first shots were fired, everything changed. The playful atmosphere vanished in an instant. Gui-hun's expression shifted from amusement to terror as he realized the deadly seriousness of the game. The sounds of gunfire were deafening, and panic set in. In his rush to move, he tripped over a lifeless body, nearly meeting the same fate, but Ali reached out, pulling him to safety. This was the moment Gui-hun got a real taste of the game. There was no turning back. If you thought that was crazy, remember, it all gets worse from here on out. In Season 1, Episode 9, Gui-hun's concern for Sibok is evident as she suffers a severe injury during the glass stepping stones game. A shard of glass pierces her abdomen, causing significant blood loss. As the three remaining players, Gui-hun, San-woo, and Sibok, are escorted to their quarters for dinner, Gui-hun notices Sibok's deteriorating condition. He tries to comfort her and attempts to stop her bleeding with makeshift care. Realizing the severity of her injury, Gui-hun decides to seek help. He pounds on the guards' doors, pleading for medical assistance to save Sibok's life.
Look! Somebody get in here! There's a badly injured girl! Is anybody out there? Oh, hey! Could you please get a doctor? She's lost a lot of blood. Hurry, please.
While Gui-hun is away seeking help, San-woo takes advantage of the situation. Fearing that Gui-hun and Sibok might vote to end the games before the final round, San-woo approaches the injured Sibok and slits her throat with a knife. When Gui-hun returns, he finds Sibok lifeless. This was one of the most emotional moments in the entire series. Gui-hun was shattered. You could see the madness settling in, but what's coming next is an even harder pill to swallow. Yangbei and Gui-hun's friendship began long before the games. They were gambling buddies, united by their shared struggles and addiction to betting on horse races. 3 years later, Gui-hun returned to the games, not as a desperate participant seeking money, but as a man driven by vengeance and a mission to end the bloodshed. His plan was simple: infiltrate the games, gather allies, and dismantle the system from within. As Gui-hun prepared for the first game of Season 2, Red Light, Green Light, he heard a familiar voice call out his name. Turning around, he saw Yangbei, his old friend, dressed in the same green jumpsuit, now player 390. The reunion was bittersweet. Yangbei revealed that his life had fallen apart since they last met, and like Gui-hun in Season 1, he had entered the games out of sheer desperation. As the games progressed, Gui-hun began gathering other contestants who shared his desire to escape and expose the organizers, and Yangbei, as a true friend, joined him. Despite their initial success, cracks began to form in their rebellion. Some players lost their nerve as they faced overwhelming resistance from reinforcements sent by the frontman. Others were killed during firefights with guards. Supplies ran low and communication broke down among Gui-hun's group. Gui-hun and Yangbei managed to reach the control room but found themselves hopelessly outnumbered. The guards surrounded them, cutting off any chance of escape. The frontman emerged from the shadows, resuming his role as the masked leader after deceiving Gui-hun earlier in the season by posing as Player 001. As Gui-hun and Yangbei knelt on the floor, the frontman delivered his final blow. Without hesitation or warning, he raised his gun and shot Yangbei in front of Gui-hun.
네 영웅놀이의 결과가 어떤 건지.
기훈아.
Gui-hun completely lost his mind, crying and screaming while guards hold him down facing his friend's lifeless body. We can see pure madness in his crying eyes. Coming up is yet another harsh and emotional moment for Gui-hun. In Season 1, Episode 6, as the fourth game approached, the remaining players were instructed to form pairs. Most looked for strong partners to increase their chances of survival. Il-nam, the elderly player, sat alone, seemingly resigned to being left out. Gui-hun, moved by compassion and their budding friendship, chose Il-nam as his partner, unaware of the next game's true nature. loser. Upon entering the game arena, a replica of a familiar neighborhood, the players were shocked to learn they would compete against their chosen partners, with the loser facing elimination. Il-nam appeared disoriented, mistaking the setting for his childhood neighborhood and struggling to grasp the game's urgency. Gui-hun, desperate and pressed for time, attempted to engage Il-nam in a simple marbles game. Initially, Gui-hun found himself losing, heightening his anxiety. Noticing Il-nam's apparent confusion and memory lapses, Gui-hun resorted to deception. He exploited Il-nam's trust, misleading him about the game's progress to win back marbles. This manipulation weighed heavily on Gui-hun, visibly fracturing his composure. As the game neared its end, Il-nam revealed he had been aware of Gui-hun's deceit all along. Despite this, he chose to give his final marble to Gui-hun. This act of selflessness shattered Gui-hun. He broke down, sobbing uncontrollably, as the reality of his actions and the impending loss of his friend overwhelmed him. Gui-hun began walking, holding his tears. Behind him, a guard entered the alley where Il-nam stood. A gunshot echoed and we see Gui-hun's face completely shattered. If you thought that was intense, brace yourself, because what comes next is even worse. Gui-hun and San-woo grew up in the same neighborhood, sharing a close bond as childhood friends. San-woo was the pride of their community, excelling academically and eventually attending Seoul National University. San-woo's success seemed to set him apart, and despite their differing paths, Gui-hun always admired San-woo and held him in high regard. However, their relationship begins to fracture during the games. San-woo's descent into ruthlessness contrasts sharply with Gui-hun's attempts to maintain his humanity. As the games progressed, Gui-hun witnessed San-woo's betrayal of Ali Abdul, where he manipulated him to ensure his own survival. This act of cruelty shocked Gui-hun, who began to see the darker side of his friend. The final blow came when San-woo killed Si-bak by stabbing her while she was already gravely injured. This act enraged Gui-hun, who had promised to protect her. In the final episode of Season 1, Gui-hun and San-woo faced off in a brutal knife fight. San-woo consumed by a desire to win the game for himself, and Gui-hun driven to revenge Si-bak's death. Despite being stabbed twice by San-woo, Gui-hun refused to cross the moral line his friend had repeatedly breached. Instead of killing San-woo or completing the game for victory, he invoked Clause 3 of the agreement, offering both of them a chance to walk away alive without the prize money. San-woo, consumed by guilt, rejected this offer. He stabbed himself in the neck, asking Gui-hun to use the prize money to help his mother before dying in front of him. We see Gui-hun holding San-woo's head with total shock and sadness, making this moment one of the hardest moments in Gui-hun's life. So far, we've been through some truly harsh moments in Gui-hun's journey. If you've made it this far and you're enjoying the video, don't forget to show your support by hitting that subscribe button. Now, for the final moment. This one's different. It's personal, it's heartbreaking, and it pushed Gui-hun to the edge. Oh Mal-soon was Gui-hun's mother, and their relationship was strained due to Gui-hun's irresponsible behavior. She worked hard to support her son and granddaughter despite her poor health. Right from the very start of the series, it was clear that Gui-hun was not the son every mom would hope to have. He borrowed money from his mother and even stole her debit card to fund his gambling habits. For Mal-soon, his son Gui-hun was a disappointment, unable to keep his marriage or to provide for his family. As the story progresses, Mal-soon's health worsens due to untreated diabetes. Gui-hun realizes he cannot afford proper medical care for her.
맨날 왜 집에도 안 들어오고 돌아다니다가 이제 나타나가 뭐 효자 행세해.
엄마 진짜 미련하게 왜 이래? 집에 안 받으면 큰일 난다잖아. 보험 있잖아, 보험.
뭐라고? 보험? 네 기억 안 나나?
He sees her condition deteriorate and decides to enter the competition to win the prize money and save her life.
내 돈 가져올게. 내 돈 가져오면 될 거 아니야?
Throughout the games, Gui-hun's motivation is partly driven by his desire to help his mother. However, by the time he wins and returns home in the final episode, it's too late. He finds his mother dead in their apartment.
엄마 자?
Initially, he thinks she's asleep, but as he tries to wake her, he realizes she has passed away. This moment is devastating for Gui-hun. Despite surviving the games and winning the money, he failed to save his mother. Her death leaves him filled with regret and grief, highlighting the consequences of his past actions and the sacrifices she made for him. And those were the top moments where Gui-hun completely lost his mind. If you think we missed a moment, let us know in the comments.